Hey guys, so here we are at the end of a very long and stressful month. I'm happy to have had so many people join me for the live streams covering the making of these 6 knives for the knife show. But I figured I'd do a bit of a showcase of what I'm going to be taking to the knife show. This is basically a representation of that. So these are all the knives that I'll be taking. The only thing that I don't have on the table currently that will be at the show is I actually have 30 of these bottle openers, but I figured I'd only put a couple out for representation. So I figured I'd take you through one by one the knives that I've made, show you all of their details because some people haven't been able to join the live streams, haven't been there on time. So we'll start from smallest to largest. This is not one that I actually made in the live streams. This is a knife that I've had for a couple of years, sitting on backlog, and I didn't even realize I still had it. So that's coming with me to the show. These 5 similarly were made a few months previous. I think I made most of these about 8 months ago. They've been sitting in stock, so those will come with me to the show. But these 6 knives are the ones I made in the month of January. So we'll start down here with the File Hunter. And this was hand forged from a farrier's rasp. It's got a very fine edge, very thick spine. It's quite a stout knife. It's got a red deer antler handle and nickel silver pin, domed nickel silver pin. The red deer antler is actually from Queensland, so it's Australian red deer. And it's got a bronze bolster with 2 mild steel retention pins and a bronze guard. So that's a bronze pommel cap. So that's finished to an 800 grit. It's quite sharp, quite nice. I actually really like this one. I was quite happy when it was finished. So that's that one. We have a Poco, or a Luku style, Scandinavian style knife with octagonal faceted handle. Again, we've got silicon bronze spacer, 400 grit satin finish on this one with the forged textures in the background. No butt plate or anything like that. It's been there's actually a wormhole in the back here that was naturally part of the wood, but I left it there. And again, another domed nickel silver pin to retain it. Next we have a Sciandoo, or Scottish black knife. These were traditionally worn in the stocking of Scottish men underneath their kilts. Used for various tasks. This one is a dagger, obviously. Some of them were single-edged. This is double-edged. Not obvious on the video, but there is actually an auto-hamone. You can kind of see it right there. And on the other side, those white splotches in the center of the blade are actually an auto-hamone where the steel didn't completely harden in the center. I actually kind of like that detail. It adds a little bit of flair. And it's got hand-carved thistles in the handle, the thistle obviously being the flower of Scotland. Next. Oh, sorry. One thing before I get on. It's got a buffalo horn, cow horn bolster, polished bolster. And it's an 800 grit satin finish on that one as well. And the handle wood is Jarrah. And on the Poco, it's she oak. So native Western Australian she oak. Next one is a bronze bolstered hunter with flame Jarrah handle. You can see some of the flame in the spine there. This one was forged from 5160. The Sciandoo was W2. Poco was 5160. Obviously that was a rasp. That's also 5160. But yeah, this one was forged from 5160. It's got a silicon bronze polished bolster, flame Jarrah handle, and nickel silver pin. Next, we have another 5160 or SUP9 blade. This one's the kitchen knife. It's got it's 5mm at the ricasso thick, and it tapers down to, I think, 0.5 of a millimeter at the tip, or even a little less. It's quite a radical distal taper, and it's got a almost zero grind on it, so it's quite thin. It's going to be an amazing cutter. The handle materials, I've got a silicon bronze, actually no, this is brass bolster, she oak back bolster. Then you've got the lapis lazuli with gold spacer, and then you've got the African bloodwood or paddock handle, main handle. And again, this one's been octagonalized, and this one had a CA glue finish. So it's nice and shiny. And last but not least, the rasp fighter, the Firefighter. This one was forged from the same rasp as the horn-handled hunter. This one also has a she-oak handle. I've left it in a satin finish, but you can see that beautiful she-oak texture in the handle. This one has all mild steel fittings. It's an inch by a quarter-inch mild steel guard. You've got a 19mm mild steel ferrule. The she-oak was actually heirloom fit, so you can see the rounding on the handle material that goes into the ferrule. It gives it a nice little indexing point all the way around. Nickel silver pin, and on the butt cap, it is a butt cap, not a pommel. It has a mild steel retaining pin. Now again, that's a retaining pin, not the tang. It's not a peened tang. It is actually a hidden tang knife, and that's just a pin that retains the bolster. It's all glued in place. Quite solid. I did go for an auto hamone on this one, but I don't believe I think the steel was a through hardening steel, not a shallow hardening steel, so the hamone didn't come out. The false edge isn't sharpened, but the main edge is very sharp. I've got a reinforced tip, which is slightly thicker than I would normally leave my tips, but that's because this is a thrusting blade, it's a fighting blade. It is quite lively, there's a little bit of weight in the front end, but that's okay. It balances just in front of the guard, and I actually think that's probably one of the finest knives on the table. So again, I'd like to thank you for coming along with the build journey. Anyone who checked in on the live streams, you guys are much appreciated. I really enjoyed sharing that journey with you, as stressful as it was. And I will be live streaming the event, the Perth Knife Show, on Sunday at 10 AM Australian Western Standard Time. I'll be live streaming around the show, introducing makers and showing off some really cool stuff. So make sure you check in for that. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, the subscribe button is just down below. And make sure to hit that bell notification icon to get notified of when I upload new videos. Also, you can hit the like button. That always gives us a hand in getting the videos out there, and share it with your friends. Not only that, but if you want to support the channel on Patreon, I have a Patreon account, which is www.patreon.com/SamTownsBladesmith. The link will be in the description again below. And yeah, I greatly appreciate everyone who's supported me. I know I'm reiterating that quite a bit, but it has been quite nice to get so much support, especially my two wonderful patrons, Andy and Nathan. They are both awesome people, and without them, I wouldn't have had such a good month. So, anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this little showcase of all the knives. I'm going to cut it here, but I'll hope to see you at that live stream on Sunday. Cheers.